but he is the man, the legend, and the myth live here and in person. And I'm going to have him stay up here with me as we go through the 5 most recognized challenges, or the 5 challenges that I hear from different students as I travel around the country, even around the world, teaching real estate. And the very first one that I want to talk about, Randolph, is education. Okay? Now, the first thing I want to say is there's a lot of different types of education. There's like this, a live event. This is what you would call a Google Hangout, I guess. And there's webinars, there's teleconferences, there's podcasts, there's home study courses, there's live events, there's coaching and mentoring. And I want you guys to know that even though I'm not a college graduate, I've never set foot on a college campus other than a RIA group I spoke at that had their meetings there. But, I'm not a college graduate, but I'm a firm believer in education. And I'm going to be the first one to tell you, don't let something like this, we're going to give you a lot of content. We're going to give you a lot of information. We're going to give you as much as we can in this kind of environment. But I got to tell you, it doesn't substitute for a home study course that's niche specific.
That's right.
It doesn't substitute for having a coach or a mentor to walk you through exactly what you need and how you need it. Somebody to hold your hand, somebody to give you a pat on the back when you need it, or a kick in the butt when you need it. It doesn't substitute for that. So, take this for what it's worth. There's a lot of time and effort and production going into something like this, but I got to tell you, it's not a substitute for, I wouldn't even call it formal education, but for home study courses that provide you with scripts, forms, documents, spreadsheets, letters, automation. Paul's going to be talking about automation here in a few minutes. And, but just remember, there's a lot of different education out there, and you can get overwhelmed. You can get overwhelmed. And we're going to talk more about that in a few minutes. But what are your thoughts about the education?
It is vital. It is vital. Just being able to invest in yourself. And that's the most important investment you can make. The more education you have about the niche that you're trying to get yourself into, and oftentimes you can be the jack of all trades and the master of none. You've collected a lot of courses, but you really never dug in and educated yourself. So you got a shelf full of information, and you haven't really put it on the inside. It don't help it being on the shelf. No. You got to get it in you, and taking the time to invest in yourself is vital. It is vital.
That's absolutely true. I read somewhere, I can't remember who said it, but I read somewhere that it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert at something. And I don't mean this in a wrong way, but don't take this the wrong way, but I do feel like I'm an expert in the real estate business. Maybe that's why you're watching, but I feel like it. And I got to tell you this, I feel like everybody on my team is also an expert at real estate. Randolph has things that he's an expert in. Randolph teaches me things every day. Paul teaches me things every single day. I remember yesterday, you and I were having a conversation about, did you hear what Paul just did?
Yeah.
That just blew me away. I'm like, whoa, how did he do that?
Right.
It amazes me. And education is not only getting books, getting tapes, going to seminars, going to live events. Like I'm having an event coming up, HUD, what are we calling it? Nothing But HUD. You can go to nothingbutHUD.com. That's nothing with a G. Nothing but HUD. I'm from South Carolina. So nothingbutHUD.com. And we're having that event coming up. And we're going to teach all about buying and selling HUD houses. We're going to have people there from, a HUD buyer's agent, listing agent. You're going to be there. Paul's going to be there as well, our VAs. But anyway, education is very, very important. So I think the bottom line is I want you to find somebody that you know, like, and trust, whether it's me or Randolph or Paul or anybody, but find somebody you know, like, and trust and latch on to them and learn as much as you can, even if you got to buy your way in. I remember we're in masterminds, right. And we have a lot of our inner circle students that become very, very successful. So we recommend this mastermind that we're in.
That's right.
And we pay We pay, when we started, it was $12,000 a year. Remember that?
Now it's more like 15 or so, isn't it?
I think it's 20 now.
20?
It's 20 now.
Wow.
But we've been in it for 4 different years, 4 consecutive years, and it's a mastermind. And when our inner circle students get to that level, if they're ready, we recommend that they get into it as well, because when you're dealing with other like-minded people that are very, very successful, you can learn a tremendous amount. And that's the level that you want to get to. You want to get to the point to where you're able to associate with and hang out with like-minded people. So whatever you need to do, if it's buy-in, you need to go ahead and do it.
That's right.
Anything else you want to add?
I'll always remain a student. That's right.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, that's cool. Guys, that's it for education. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and talk about fear. False evidence appearing real.
That's right.
So we'll see you in a couple of minutes.